A broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
Boom, baby.
All right. Good evening. Welcome, everyone, to the huddle. Nevada Nick, Coach Muddle, we're here. We got a lot to cover. Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't even get my days right now. We're all fired up today. A lot of things went on, man. We had some winner chicken dinner, man. Somebody's alternate team didn't make it. Their second alternate team won. So I mean, they closed it out. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, look, Coach. I called it a couple months ago. Now, look, saying the Dodgers were going to win it, I don't think they were the best team in baseball. But still, this is a team that is, used to choking. You know what I mean? And kind of like last year, the Nationals knocked on the door a lot and finally got through. This year, it's the Dodgers. And the difference, Coach, was Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts was the difference, bringing him in. Let's not forget last night, I think he scored 2 runs, but that, horrible decision by Cash. Horrible decision by Cash. I mean, I can't believe he made that. I mean, Tim Kirkson said it last night, and when Coach has said this many times, I feel the same way. And it's true. Baseball has lost the feeling of just the game. They really have. Yeah. It's become so analytics driven.
Yeah.
And I get it during the regular season. I do. But in postseason,
I'm not an analyst, so that's why I don't watch it anymore.
No, but you know what I'm saying. It's all about numbers. And last night, Snell was dealing, man. 73 pitches. Yes, Stiz, we got plenty of cheesecake bites, man. When we have fun in AC in a couple weeks. But no, look, he was dealing, Snell, completely dealing. 73 pitches, 6th inning, 1 out. A guy gets a single. She only got a guy on first, and he gets pulled. And Mookie Betts is coming up, and all the
struck out twice, over 2 bad strikeouts. Wasn't like he was bad.
What's up, Angela? And look, he only had 2 hits. One person was in scoring position at that point. So you give the guy some rope. Let him get in trouble. Let him give up a run. You know what I mean? And look, Mookie Betts, all the Dodgers said they were shocked. Even Rays came, and you could see. He said, it was like F&A, I think. Like, you got to be kidding me. You're pulling me? And it's Game 6 of the World Series. And then to see what happens afterwards, he was worried about them facing the lineup third time. And like I said, let him get Mookie. And Coach, the worst part is if it's about analytics, Mookie Betts has been horrible against not horrible, but not as good against left-handed hitting.
Right.
Then you got Seager up, who's left-handed, and has been tearing it all playoffs. So why don't you keep with Snell? You go to the righty, and it's boom, boom. And it was instant, man. 2 runs like that. It was just insane, and it was over after that. I mean, look, the Dodgers
I think Snell, when he came out, I think it was like popping the bubble. I mean,
it was. The team, man, you're right. The team felt it, Coach. It really did. But ultimately, I think everybody's going to focus on this decision. And look, I really and this isn't overreaction Wednesday. That is going to go down as one of the worst decisions in World Series history. It is. It's always going to be. But no matter what, to me, the Dodgers should have won it in 5 anyway. Roberts going to Jansen in Game 4 was a mistake. So I think this kind of evened out. And let's not forget, after 5 games, obviously went 6, but after the 5th game, the Dodgers were leading 30 innings. The Rays were leading 11, and then they were tied in 4. So, I mean, Dodgers had control of the series. Hey, man, you know what I mean, Tommy? You come to Vegas. Like I said, I'll be in Vegas next year for the Eagles game. Nevada Nick's rolling in the cash, man. Look, and like I said, another future winner, Coach, another future bet winner. Yeah. I had the Raptors last year, Nationals, Chiefs. I said the Lakers in February. I did back off it when the bubble came, but I said it in February, and then I gave the Lakers or Clippers bet that was even money earlier, and then now I gave out the Dodgers. What was it, like early August, Coach.
Yeah, you did.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, but, Coach, like this year, man, nothing can just go normal. I mean, you have the Snell decision, and then you hear about Justin Turner, which was pretty
Right.
crazy, too. And, they were giving him some flack because he went and celebrated. Look, this guy's been on 3 World Series and lost. I don't have a problem with it. He's been around all his teammates. They're all young guys. You know what I mean? Like, they've been around each other for weeks anyway.
Yeah.
My question more is, I wonder how he got it. You know what I mean? Because haven't they been in a bubble,
Yeah, they've been in the bubble, so how?
They didn't have one positive test in 2 months, Coach.
Right.
So that's my only little – I mean, look, it could have been anything. I don't know if they're in a hotel or what they're doing because obviously not at home. But, yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. And I know a lot of people are going to say there's an asterisk on this World Series, and I think that's up to anybody. I mean, I think playoffs-wise, it's legitimate, but I understand they played 100 less games. You know what I mean? So that's up to you. And look, you don't know. Would Kershaw have pitched this good in the postseason if he played a whole season? Because I think that's part of it. You know what I mean? He really gassed out in other postseasons.
Right. Absolutely. I believe that. A lot of guys, Kershaw, one of them being the guy that worked too hard. And I also think that Houston, I mean, granted, Verlander got hurt, but I think it helped them. That's propelled them to the, ALCS as well.
Yeah. And, Coach, one thing already, about Nick, he's always looking to the future because he's a, big-time future is better. They already released the odds for next year. Dodgers are 4-1, but the next team and the team I think that's going to have the best shot is your Yankees, 6.5-1. I mean, when you think about Cole, Paxton, Severino.
We're going to re-sign Paxton.
So okay, but so even Paxton goes. Severino and Cole at the top. I mean, and then
right, and you're right. Paxton and that young kid looked pretty good, little flat,
Yeah, right.
So we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
I mean, look, man, I go 100 miles per hour, brother. So when I go to Vegas, I'll probably bring Stiz with me. If Coach is more than welcome, we'll rent one of those Lamborghinis or Ferraris. We'll be in the hangout. Ah, man, come on, man. I can fit in it. You don't think I can fit a Lambo? You might have trouble going over a speed bump, but I'll be sitting on the speed bump a little bit, take out the bottom a little bit, but we'll be all right. No, not Bill Paxton. James
Paxton. Come on, man.
I know. Who doesn't like some hookers?
Hey, speaking about futures bets.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just speaking about futures. Okay. I just saw the line today for the Giants to win the NFC East. 1,300-1.
No, it's 13-1.
No, it was 1,300.
No, you understand when it says that number, Coach. It's if you bet $100. So it's really 13-1. I'm the gambling guy.
All right. I'm just telling you what I read on the thing.
That's still a good number, though, Coach. You put $100 up, you win $1,300, and it's not out of complete thought. There's a chance. I don't think it'll happen. I would go with the Redskins first, but it's a possibility. I mean, you never know. Eagles got a tough stretch.
The Giants beat the Redskins.
If I was you, I would root for the Cowboys to beat the Eagles Sunday, because then that plays into your hand. Because then the Cowboys have 3 wins, the Eagles have 2 in the bye, and then they got the Eagles next week, and they have to win that game. Giants got to win next week, and they got to beat the Bucs probably too to be able to have a shot.
It's not.
Yeah, I know. And Angela, you're more than welcome to play, man. Like I said, I'm a partier and I go hard. So Coach knows that me and Coach have had plenty of good times, man.
That's right, man.
Plenty of good times.
Look, man, the pedals on the floor, man. We're flying.
Yeah, Stiz knows.
We don't even we rip the rearview mirror off because we don't look back.
That's right. Plus, we don't want to see all the the bridges we burned.
That's right. You don't want to see all the bridges burning behind you, man.
But did you get to see the game last night, Coach, or no?
I saw a little bit. I went out, took my daughter out to dinner. I came home and, I looked at sixth inning. I think it was, so.
I mean, and ultimately, look, the Rays scoring one run. I mean, the offense was the problem for the Rays. I feel bad for Ozareno. I feel bad for Snell. I mean, could you imagine, Coach? I mean, he was balling last night, and you get pulled like that. I'd be pissed too. I mean, he was balling. He was balling last night. I mean,
what surprised me
pitches,
though,
man.
that he didn't put up more of a fight on the mound.
Well, I don't think he wanted to disrespect his manager. He
did in the press conference. He played it.
He said he was upset. He admitted it, but he said he's a hell of a manager, and And look, people forget. Blake Snell was the first player who came out and said, "I want my money." Remember?
Right.
He was one of those guys that said he wanted to get his full money, I think. And, it caused some controversy because Harper did it too. But, look, it's going to be interesting. And Angela, so you know, too, your A's are up there. I think they were the fourth highest next year to win it all. But I think the A's need to go and do something. They got to get some more so I would say a little bit more starting pitching. I mean, they're a good team. They're a young team. Padres were up there too. Padres are going to be good next year. Padres, you saw that, incline. And, I mean, the Phillies, I think they're, they just got to get some bullpen help and a starter.
Figure out the pitching, man. Figure out pitching.
I mean, look, let's not – people can say what they want, but Girardi didn't fail the Phillies. The Phillies failed Girardi. And not the team, the bullpen. They do need pitching, Angela. But, I mean, I think the Phillies are a bullpen because the offense was fine. They're a bullpen and a starter away. And I'm just curious what's going to happen with baseball. Look, this is when they normally end, so their season's not going to get affected, I don't think.
Right.
I guess they'll probably have the normal spring training. I'm just curious what we're looking at next year. I mean,
I think really it's just hockey and basketball, and I heard they're not going to do the bubble next year.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Which it surprises me, the amount of success that you had in the bubble.
It's just, Coach, you last time when they went in, you were talking about a condensed period of time. I mean, if they start in December, you're talking about 6 months. You're talking about 6 months if you go to the finals, obviously, in the bubble. I don't know how realistic that is, but that's the thing too. After losing some games last year, are they going to shorten seasons? Basketball and hockey, I'm talking about. I mean, if you start in December, how do you have a full season? Unless you really condense the games.
Right. I know, because they were talking about shaving a couple of games off of the basketball season. I know players were complaining they wanted some more days off. So, but you see what's happening with football and what happened with baseball. I just wonder how they're going to, put that into
and Michael, fans are at games, but and that was something that came out today. The Super Bowl is looking to do 20% capacity, and they're going to put fans in pods. So I don't know if it's going to be like a pod, like your group of fans, or like one person in a pod. But I'd imagine that those tickets are going to be really expensive, obviously.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, come on, 20%. That's all going to be people with connections who know players, who know the team, who know the league, or celebrities. Guys like me and you, Coach. Maybe a lot of Nick, not you.
I was just going to say, listen, they know me at the league office, okay? Yeah. They do know me at the league office.
Yeah, that's because they banned him from going there too many times because he was showing up at the door begging for a job. Okay, that's what Angela just said, pods of 6. Okay. I mean, look, I think it's going to look weird, and I think it's a money grab because I'm sure those pods are going to be expensive. Right. And that's what I think they're looking at. But look, whatever, it is what it is. I don't care. What's weird? I really thought of all of them, football was going to be the weirdest to see without fans, and it really hasn't affected me. I think because you're always looking at the field, so only when they do the shots of the stadium is it like, there's no state. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than that, is it really different to you, Coach?
No.
Yeah.
It's not. It's what it feels to me. It feels like a almost like a spring football game where there's just, maybe a couple hundred people there, reporters and stuff, and that's it, So it's not really
and Tommy, the Twins are up there too. Twins are in like the top.
But they still suck, and that's that, Tommy. So just deal with it.
The Twins have talent. Twins really choked this year, and that's the problem. What is it, like 16 straight playoff games they've lost or something crazy? I mean,
eat some Twinkies. I heard it's good for the gonorrhea of the eye.
Yeah. Well, what the problem is, it's like they're like the Kirk Cousins of baseball. You know what I mean? They can't win the big games. They can't win in the postseason.
Which I can't, for being all in, you lost money on Ndakwe. Now you're right now. I think you're drafting. If the draft was today, you're like 5, 6, or 7, right in that range.
Yeah,
I think Justin Fields falls to you, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be a crazy year. I think the Jets are locked in at Lawrence. I really do. So I think unless he doesn't come out, but I think he's gonna go to the draft. Other teams we'll see. I just think the Jets are worth football. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and I was just going to bring that up. I think that's a huge deal. And look, let's not forget Sam Hinkie, who was the guy who did the whole trust the process thing.
Yeah,
he worked under Daryl Morey. The Sixers have always loved Daryl Morey, and ultimately Sam Hinkie got us this team. I mean, I know we did have years of losing and it was bad, but ultimately it got us Simmons and Embiid. And we're just so impatient now. Those guys are young, man. You got to give it time. I like it, Stiz. You got Daryl Morey there who's going to go out and get creative, make trades. He's going to make this team better. We got Doc Rivers. The Sixers are headed in the right direction. They really are. I like where we're headed. I just want to see what we do. There's been some rumors about there's been rumors about them getting Buddy Hield from the Kings. Look, Brand should be gone. Horford. That really handcuffed us. They should have went. They could have got Bogdanovich, who's with Indiana, that left the Bucks. They could have got him for $20 million less. I don't get it. Yeah, Brian would buy Harden. I don't want him, man. I don't want him. They say they're going to have to trade Simmons. I don't do it. He's what? He's in his 30s, and everybody's like, well, Harden scores 30 points a game. Simmons scores 11. They always forget. Everybody's so obsessed with stats. They forget, well, guess how different the other end. Simmons is an all-pro defensive player, and that's forgotten. James Harden couldn't guard me and Coach. Like, he's a horrible defender. And just like football, Coach, nobody's got respect for offensive linemen. You know what I mean? And defensive linemen, it's all how many sacks do you have and all that. But you know how it is. It's all about, look at the Cowboys, prime example. It's like all their receivers and, now they have no line, and look at the team. And that was Jerry's fault. We said going into this year about the defense. But, I wouldn't go for Harden. They do miss Reddick. There's some rumors Reddick might get traded out of New Orleans, and I'd be on the phone. They know they made a mistake. Reddick talks about missing playing in Philadelphia, that he loved his time here. They miss him. I don't know that he would start. But and even if he does start, I'm fine with that. But they need that offense off the bench, that shooting. I mean, they miss him. And I know he's not great defensively, but they miss him. Yeah, I would love it too, Stiz. I miss J.J. Redick. I really do. But they got some good young players. Watch out for Mateus Thybulle. He's a great defender. The future's bright for the Sixers. I'm not one of those blow it up because, you're talking about guys that are 25 years old. And Simmons is like 22. 23. They're a young team still.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
the Knicks have the 8th pick. Just thought I'd throw that in because I am wearing my Knicks shirt today. But it's fine.
Yeah, the Knicks coach, they got to get a free agent, and that's what's a shame about Dolan. He's killed their potential of getting any type of free agents in. They just don't want to play in New York.
And I think it's more of, and I you know what? Honestly, I can't really come up with a good enough argument for it because he's done such stupid crap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's done stupid crap. Like, you got a guy that spends, over $250,000 every year to get season tickets, and you kind of make that big fiasco. You've had so many things, and it just I honestly I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Because then you look at the other side, because he owns the Garden, he owns the Rangers, he owns all of that.
Right.
And the Rangers are, why does he stay out of the Rangers, and why is he so part of the Knicks? What is the problem? And I've heard people say that really he leaves everything alone. But again, you hear all these other things that come out. How does that work? But
and Coach, I don't want to get too much into race, but let's be honest. Basketball is a predominantly African American sport, and here you're kicking out Charles Oakley and Spike Lee, both African Americans. Both one a Knicks fan, one a former beloved Knicks player. That didn't look good. You know what I mean? LeBron's always said he wanted to go to New York. They were his number one choice in 2010, and he just had no plan, basically. You saw. I know you liked the Porzingis trade, but he wanted out. I mean, the Carmelo thing was a disaster. There's a different coach every couple of years.
That was Melo. The Melo thing really set the Knicks back forever, because if you remember, the Knicks gave up, I think, 12 players for Melo. They gave away their whole entire roster to get Melo, and then you had to start putting pieces around a guy who was over the hill already. It was bad. So.
Yeah, and football trade today, Carlos Dunlap got traded to Seattle, which he has 1 sack this year. I don't know if it's, he was a good player before. I don't know if he can get something going in Seattle, but that's to me, it's why didn't you go get Ndakwa? Why didn't you get Everson Griffin from the Cowboys?
Right.
At least Everson Griffin, you hope. And the Cowboys are cutting bait, man. They cut 2 players today, Dontari Poe and Worley. I think Jerry Jones is tanking it now. I think you're going to hear Dalton's out. They're going to go to the Italian kid, let him get killed, basically. And
what's wrong with the Italian kid, man?
Nothing. He just dude, it doesn't matter what quarterback goes in there. That team's, even with those weapons, they got no line. They're going to get killed. I mean, come on, Coach. He's like a third-string quarterback, and there's nothing wrong with him. He just sucks.
You're
not
right.
Tony Romo. Remember when Tony Romo came in and lit it up? That's not happening.
But again, it shows you when you have pieces around you,
Mm-hmm.
if you've got some talent, you can play, and whatnot. So,
and I really think, Coach, too, I think you might see the Cowboys make some trades too. I really do. I think Amari Cooper, he may go. I wouldn't be surprised. I think.
But Amari Cooper, who's picking up the contract? That's the problem of getting rid of that guy. Who's taking the contract?
Supposedly, they said the Packers might be, interested. I don't know. I think the Packers are going to be buyers. Supposedly, they said the Packers called about Ertz from the Eagles. And, because I get it. You want to get weapons for Rodgers. Man,
that would be a great fit up there. I could.
Me? You kidding me?
Right.
I mean, that would be perfect. And with that team, Ertz would fit in nicely because, it takes some of the pressure that he has in Philly where he's the guy, you know what I mean? And I think they do kind of game plan to take him out of the game. Up in Green Bay, it's more about, I think, Devontae Adams, obviously.
Right, and
he would fit in nice.
That opens him up, yes, definitely. I think you're right. And that's a shame that he couldn't get that done because of the injury. And, it's a shame on both.
Yeah, because I believe it's next week. Next week. It's week 9, which I believe is next week. It's the trade deadline.
Yeah. I think it's the 2nd. I want to say November 2nd.
Okay.
So it's the end of the weekend, Monday.
Okay.
You don't want to keep Zeta. Who's that? Who's that, Angela?
Who's Zeta? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who is Zeta? I'm trying to think now. I got me. I think Ertz
is gone. Is instead of
Ertz.
Yeah.
Angela, right. Yeah. You know what? I love Ertz. I do. I just think Ertz wants a lot of money. He's looking at Kelsey. I was like, who the hell said it? He wants a lot of money, and the Eagles are very, very cap strapped. And there's talk, obviously, that the NFL cap number is going to go down next year. And they got tough decisions to make. I love Ertz. I just think he topped out his Super Bowl year and the year after. I think he's now, not that his skills are completely declining, but he's on the other side of his career. You know what I mean, Coach. I think he's going to want too much money. He's not going to be worth it. Like, he's unhappy with his contract.
But isn't he already getting $12 million a year?
I think it's like 9 or 10. But I would pay him I wouldn't mind 9 or 10, but he's not worth $15 million. He's not Travis Kelce or George Kittle. I don't know that Ertz is a top 5 tight end anymore. I mean, I think Waller's better. I think Kittle's better. I think Kelsey's better. And for the lack of, and I think there's other tight ends that are better. He's still in there. And look, a part of it is, he's injured. There's not a lot of weapons. Right. I do think that's part of it, but there's been a decline the last year and a half. So, I just don't know about it. It depends the number, Angela. I know that was a long answer, but depends on the number. If the number's right, I'll have him back. But they also have Goddard there, and if that money could be spent elsewhere,
Mark Andrews, yes,
Mark Andrews. Thank you, Stiz. Yeah, I think if the number's right, but I also like Goddard. So if that money can be spent elsewhere better, I'm fine with that too.
And I think you got to. I mean, when you're cap strapped, you have an aging offensive line. You really, unfortunately, I don't see Zach Ertz suiting up again for the Eagles.
I think he might this year. You know what I mean? If he gets healthy, but if he's not healthy, you might be right, Coach. Just like I don't.
If I'm Zach, I don't want to anyway because I know I'm going to get moved in the offseason.
Yeah, I don't think OBJ comes back to the Browns. I really don't. I think OBJ is gone. Yeah. I think and everybody's. But look, he looked better with him off the field. So I think he's gone. I really do. Where he lands, Coach, I don't know. But would you take him on? What's that?
What?
Where would you think OBJ would land?
I could see him in, a couple of different places. Houston, for one.
Yeah.
Houston really needs some receivers. I'm sure he'd like to get down to Miami or New Orleans. I could see him one of those places.
Maybe Indy.
San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco. That's a good one. That is a good one. They could use.
Now here's what I don't get.
TSA at the Philly airport. That's great.
Hey, here's what I don't get though. How is the Detroit Lions buyers with Everson Griffin?
I mean, look, I think they're better. I mean, look, they're the Lions. I think they're better. That's sounds Captain Jack up on the floor. No, that would be a lot louder if it was him up on the floor. It'd be a lot louder. Well, they're talking about trading Thielen. The Vikings. Now, see, that's somebody I'd love if I was a team because he's just a competent receiver, good hands, going to make some plays, especially if he's going to be the guy, I don't know. But a complimentary receiver to another good player, I'd like to see him on the Eagles. The Eagles could use a receiver. Eagles won't go for ABJ. I know that. I know that ain't happening. But could you imagine him in Philly, man? They'd be throwing, bags of dog shit at him.
You're right. Yeah. But you know what? They're cap strapped and they can't take on the contract. That's the thing. You got to take on the contract,
Yeah, well, and it's huge, isn't it? Well, unless he gets released, Coach, because that's the thing. I think the Browns may release him outright. I don't know that, he's tradable, and so maybe he gets released because, look, it hasn't been good in Cleveland. I think he played 1 year under it in New York and 2 years in Cleveland, correct?
No, he didn't play any in New York.
Really?
Signed and then traded.
Okay.
He never played on the contract. But I could be wrong. Maybe he did play a year on the contract. I thought he was traded, but
okay. So Tommy, you're from America? Tommy's not.
Tommy, he's just over there in the land of he likes to drink piss. That's the difference between American beer and beer in England, man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought Tommy lived in I know he lives in England, but I thought he was in whatever they call him, English or what do you know?
Yeah, England. Yeah,
England. All right. No, they don't call them England, but they're called English.
The English, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, oh right, that's right. He got hurt and was out, right? So he really never played,
right?
So, yeah. But
now, did you think anything last night of Justin Turner, Coach? Oh yeah, he is American. He said Justin Turner.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know how they do? They gave him some. There was some criticism because he was celebrating with the Dodgers afterwards, and he tested positive. But to me, it's like the guy got pulled in the 7th inning of the World Series. Like, let him celebrate with his teammates. You know what I mean? Like,
why even like at that point?
Yeah, he's played 7 innings
in the bubble. How did he get it? And you're pulling him from the damn game. I like that. That just really baffled me. You know,
right?
And
can you imagine if the Rays would have won last night too? So you're going in tonight. Right. Your number 3 hole hitter's out. Bellinger, I think we all know. I thought he was okay when he hit the home run in the big game 1. Bellinger's not okay. His shoulder's jacked up. Yep. And you can see he was hitting like 100 in the World Series. So, now you got 2 injuries. It would have been crazy tonight. I mean, you got your best guy going, but let's not forget, Tampa Bay was lining up Morton to pitch, who has a .45 ERA in game-clinching games. So, it's the microscope around there.
Closing our schools Friday. Wow. Here in Delaware, they're open.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess every state's different. I don't know where I know they're getting some more, we were talking about yesterday. The numbers are starting to go up. But, Ravens Steelers, honestly, you'll get my pick on Sunday. Because I have a pick in that. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be difficult, Tommy, but, yeah, you'll get my pick Sunday because there is somebody I like. The last couple of weeks, and me and Stiz, we talk every Monday when I see games. And the last few weeks, until last weekend, there wasn't a lot I liked. And now I'm starting to get – because football is a lot about spots, understanding games, things like that. There, Stiz will give you his pick. But, yeah.
Stiz, don't wait for Sunday. No build up, no hype, no nothing.
Well, he doesn't do pick anyway. He does fantasy stuff. But
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'll give my pick Sunday, but I like some games this weekend. And I think we're starting to see some of these teams getting a feel for them. And like I said, gambling's a lot about understanding teams, understanding spots because of the looting. Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, there's lots of riots going on in Philly. It's crazy up here now. Look, I'm in Delaware County, which is a suburb of Philly. And they're closing stores down in here because they're worried about it spilling over down into where I'm at. Right. It's crazy right now. That would suck. I mean, I was looking forward to seeing the Eagles stick it to the Cowboys on Sunday night. Little worried about the game because everybody just thinks the Eagles are going to win, and that tends to be when you lose. You know what I mean?
Right, because it is Dallas Eagles. It is a rivalry still, and
And Coach, every week it feels like the Cowboys kind of hit their low and then they get lower. And you just kind of wonder, truthfully. And you just kind of wonder, is this the week they're finally going to say, look, we just lost 25-3 to the Redskins. Let's play with some pride. I mean, they're getting killed everywhere. And look, they could come out and lay another egg. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's got a weird feeling about this game that it's going to be closer than people think.
He's not allowed guns here. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you go to England. So, but
Friday is mischief night.
But they canceled it because of it. Oh wow, you're off work. Sorry, Brian. Hope you're getting paid at least.
Yeah, and Tommy, we are not on next Tuesday. He said he wants to do a special election day. PP8er Nick and Coach Muddle sports show.
Yeah, we're not. Tommy, I apologize, but this is our last. Yesterday,
Wednesday,
But yesterday was our last Tuesday. This was our last Wednesday show for the foreseeable future. Anyway, we're just doing 3 days: Thursday, Sunday, Monday.
Right. And Stiz, if Goodell and they do move the Eagles game, I'm not going to call Goodell up. I don't think. Yeah, I wouldn't think it was a conspiracy against the Eagles.
I think it is a conspiracy. I think it really is. It's everything's against Philadelphia. They're moving the game. I really think that's ridiculous how unfair the Eagles have been treated. So terrible, unbelievable how they treat the Eagles, man. They don't do that to any other team.
Yeah. Well. If it's
we didn't ruin it for all of you.
If it's going to happen, we'll know tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You'll know tomorrow because you got to let the other team know because of travel and all the things that come with it. That because obviously we saw it last week. They're always going to protect the Sunday night game. We'll know tomorrow. They'll postpone it, and then obviously they'll have to move another game to the Sunday night game. So
probably Steelers Ravens probably.
Oh, that'd be a great one. That's a good point. And look, I'm sure NBC's probably NBC might have told them go Riot.
Yeah.
Make it worse because I'm sure they'd rather see ball. And that, Coach, you hit the nose on the head with that. You got a 6-0 team versus a 5-1 team, and to me, probably one of the top 2 or 3 rivalries in the NFL the last 15 years. I mean, you're talking about tough, physical, close games. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Great one, Coach. What bad things happen in Philly. That's great. That's what was it Biden that said that? I think Joe Biden said it. Bad things happen in Philly. He was talking. Yeah, I think it was Biden or something like that. Biden also brought up the town right next to me. How his mom would go out and the oil slick would be on their car, which I know all kinds of people that lived in Marcus Hook, and none of them in 40 years have ever gone out that
anyway, but so we'll see. We got a big Thursday show. My co-host Dave will be with us tomorrow. And
he said, "What game you announced on Friday, Coach?"
It'll be the Friday night Cape and Lupin Vikings versus the Smyrna Eagles.
Okay.
And Smyrna's got a pretty high-powered offense, and Cape's still young, kind of feeling themselves out. New defensive coordinator, new defense, and they're trying to figure it out. So it should be a fun night. Anxious to see what happens. So.
Yeah, Facebook would never do that, Angela.
Yeah, come on, they don't do that, do they? They don't do that. I thought it's freedom of speech.
Look, Tommy's happy just because their name's the Vikings.
Yes, exactly, man.
Well, exactly. At least one Vikings team can win. You know what I mean, Tommy? His Smyrna Eagles will probably be postponed too. Well, we know Eagles are going to win because we remember the last time Eagles and Vikings played, Tommy, don't we, buddy? NFC Championship game. You like that, Tommy? You like that?
He couldn't see. It was the gonorrhea in his eyes were flaring up. He couldn't see it. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. So yeah, and of course we have Thursday night football.
Not a great game.
Not a great game, but
Falcons Panthers. But
I'm a Matt Rule guy, so I'll keep an eye on it. Because they're they're playing a lot better than anyone expected.
Yeah, and to me, Teddy Bridgewater, most underrated quarterback in the NFL this year.
Absolutely,
I think he's had a nice year.
Absolutely, and I think the Vikings are kicking themselves for letting him go and just kicking him to the curb, and to see how he signed with the Jets, and he's like, thank goodness they traded me, got to play with New Orleans. Played very well for 5 games, and then he got himself paid in Carolina.
But if you look what they're paying Kirk Cousins too, they could have saved $10 million having Teddy Bridgewater, who's a better quarterback. Kirk Cousins' ceiling, best game, may be higher than Teddy Bridgewater's, but Teddy's consistent. He's not going to make mistakes. He's going to win games. And Kirk's he's the complete opposite of that. I saw it with the Redskins all the time. He'd throw 4 touchdowns against the Eagles, look great, and then go in the tank.
Last week. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, the Saints couldn't sign him because they're another team that is strapped. They made a run for the Super Bowl, and now it's starting to bite them. And they're this close, and they're struggling to find that, that final piece to the puzzle. And I don't think they get it done. I'm sorry.
And no, look, that was my Super Bowl pick. And it's been a tough year. I mean, look, they haven't had Michael Thomas for most of the year. And, I said it, I'll repeat myself again. I thought him being out was worse than Drew Brees being out. Because you had Teddy Bridgewater coming in for Brees. Now, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders isn't even close to Michael Thomas. When they get him back, we'll see, Coach. But their defense doesn't look the same. That concerns me. But it's a wait and see. But they play the Bears this weekend. And then next weekend, Coach, you got the Bucs with revenge on their minds.
Yep.
Because Drew Brees won week 1. And the Bucs are a different team than they played in week 1. I mean, Brady's been, he's got those guys around now. He's getting some chemistry with them. And, I think that's going to be the Bucs.
AB is going to, what a game to get AB acclimated against the Giants who, their defense is pretty good, but I still think, Tom Brady's on fire right now. And you can't.
Tommy, way to go out on the ledge this year. My 5 Super Bowl picks this year. Just no darts at all.
Stiz, one more time, and I'm leaving the show. Okay? One more time with the name change.
Sundays with Stiz, baby.
What are we doing? A nice little by the fire with Stiz? Should we change it?
Yeah,
by the
right.
fire with
Stiz and his cigar. You got the crackling in the back. Don't forget, fall back this week. We got to set you got to remember, set your clocks back so you don't miss us by an hour.
Right. You don't want to watch it on replay. You want to watch it live.
Right. You want to watch it live, comment, come in, tell us what you think of the games that day, who you like. Obviously, Coach and I, Eagles predictions, Giants, we'll wait till Monday because it's Monday night, obviously.
Right.
But I think we all know what's going on with the Giants game. That's my suicide pick this week. Sorry, Coach.
Listen, Monday, I'm going to be real analytical about that pick, though. And just going to do it analytically and not with being a fan, just being an analyst. I'm gonna look at that game. So,
okay. Damn, Tommy, 500 buy-in. Wow, that is some big money for fantasy football. And I don't know if Tommy sent me this story, but I'd already read it too, Coach. There was a guy today. Listen to this, Coach. So the Monday night game. I guess I don't know if it's just Monday night or it was for like the whole weekend. But DraftKings gives $1 million to whoever's team gets the most points out of like hundreds of thousands of people. But this guy won, Coach, and then the Bears defense, they changed the one thing from a sack to a tackle for loss because if the offensive lineman run block, it's considered obviously a run, not a pass.
Right.
They changed it 30 minutes after the game, so we went from winning $1 million to nothing. Can you imagine?
What?
You think for a half an hour you won $1 million? Yeah, it's on ESPN. Yeah, Tommy, it was like $997,000 he won.
Wow.
And then a half an hour later they changed the stat, the official NFL people, and he loses $997,000.
Unbelievable. See, and I think that's because didn't DraftKings get busted because they were going in at like halftime and betting half games like themselves so they could cover their bets and stuff? Like they were kind of cheating, basically.
You're right. Something like that. They did get some trouble. You're right.
So DraftKings.
He's saying
I don't think so. Rick. It is.
There was something that. But the Bengals. Yeah, Brian, I don't know how much he played this year. I went to look to see what his stats were, and all I saw was 1 sack. So I don't know if he's really played much for the Bengals or what. I mean, but look, the Seahawks need anything right now. Maybe he feels rejuvenated going from Cincinnati and that shit
Right.
show to Seattle. But look, it's still not going to be up and up for Seattle. I'm looking for another defender if I'm them because they have the linebackers. I like KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner. You got Jamal Adams, at safety. If you can get a couple linemen, maybe a corner, look, you got to push the chips in. I mean, the offense is all firing on all cylinders, man. I mean, it's just they got to get that defense playing well. And it's kind of surprising because, Pete Carroll's always been a defensive guy. Let's not forget when they won their Super Bowls, Legion of Boom, it was play defense and run the ball with Marshawn Lynch. And then Russell Wilson at that time, didn't make mistakes, made big plays when he needed to, but obviously wasn't the talent he is right now.
Right. And Houston shut their
they had a positive test.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, luckily they all on a bye. But you know what? The Texans, honestly, they might be better off just freaking forfeiting the game anyway, the way that team plays. They stink. They do, man. It's a shame, too. And that's one coach I would
let me ask you this, though. Speaking of that, is there another, this is probably more of a Stiz question, and Stiz, keep your mouth shut till Sunday. But, is there kind of prop bet? Is there a different way that Atlanta could blow a lead and lose a football game?
Well, if he waits to Sunday, tomorrow's the game, Coach. How can he give that out Sunday?
Oh, that's right, tomorrow. So wait till tomorrow.
Tomorrow you comment, Stiz.
I forgot. Tomorrow you can comment that.
Yeah, I love Angela. Who doesn't love Marshawn Lynch? I know he's an Oakland boy, obviously. No,
he doesn't love the Doritos or the Skittles commercial.
Yeah, they were great. Well, too, everybody thinks too. Remember that run in Seattle where it actually in the playoffs it was on the Richter scale that the stadium got so loud and so crazy that it actually registered on the Richter scale. So, and one thing I'm curious too. Does Houston entertain offers for J.J. Watt?
I think you got to.
I agree.
You have to because, and first of all, you don't have a general manager. So I think if I'm a general manager, I smell blood in the water. Maybe I could pull a fast one because, obviously not as good a deal as if Bill O'Brien was there. But, I still think I could get a deal for J.J. Watt.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you got plus a team like that, man, he's not going to factor in the future of that team. I mean, JJ's at the end of the line. I don't, see him being still there, around in 2 to 3 years. And look, they're not going to turn it around in 1 year. That's a rebuild there, obviously. I feel bad for Deshaun Watson. I wonder if he would have signed that contract. I mean, I know it's a lot of money to turn down, but I wonder if he'd have signed that contract if he'd have known everything that was going to go down.
Yes, Mike, it's a known fact I have dyslexia. I've never denied having dyslexia, man.
Coach has dyslexia.
Man, that's why I can't answer these comments very well. I can't type that fast. And then when
I do, just put the comments up and talk.
Christ, man.
We go through this on Sunday. You got to let me do the controls, man, because all you got to do is hit the damn comment, let it come up, and then talk about it. We don't need you to spell.
But what you don't understand.
Don't just down there trying to look at a spelling book and get out and spell it.
But you don't understand is Facebook doesn't care about how many views you get. They want to know how many interactions you're getting. That's how they count it.
Yeah, so put the comments up. That goes more into what I'm saying. So you put the comments up. Didn't know it made you confused Thursday and Sunday. Look, let's not all deny. We all know, Coach isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. We all know that.
Right. There you go.
His elevator doesn't go to the top floor. Okay.
Yeah. Well, all the tools aren't in the shed, man. Yeah. Yeah. So we're trying. You know what? We've had 3 in a row negative tests for gonorrhea of the eye, and we want to keep it that way, Tommy. So until you can get us 3 negatives in a row, then we'll talk about getting you back on.
Yeah. F you, Tommy. That's still one of the classic moments of the show. We had finally calmed Captain down. And then freaking Tommy comes in and calls him an armchair quarterback. And all you, F you, Tommy Boucher. Oh, man, one of the classic moments, man.
Yep,
That was great. I think, was that Ed Hockley Jr. night?
That was.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, Michael, how long you known him? He's cleared like Daniel Jones. Oh, Jesus.
He's clear. I'm cleared like Daniel Jones. Oh man. So yes, good stuff. So man, what do we got? We actually have a sports-free night. Is this the first time in like
it's been a while, man,
that there's no sports on tonight?
Right. And like I said, it's dwindling down now. You got some things to look forward to in regards to off seasons. Basketball has to have their off season, has to have the draft, which is so weird. The Masters is coming up. I mean, I'm not a golf guy, but if you're a golf person, yeah, but it's going to be.
Was that 2 years ago? You picked Tiger Woods?
Year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. When he hadn't won a major in how long? Nevada Nick said, "Here comes Tiger," and Tiger roared, baby.
Keep your eye on Tiger. I really like Tiger, and so.
Yeah, but no, look, this is our time of year, man. Football. We're all about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. We don't talk soccer, so.
Yep.
I played soccer when I was a kid, just because I took up 2/3 of the net. So they just put me in the net because there wasn't much space around. But, not much of a soccer guy. Yeah, and the Sixers did get their coach. I still want to see what Morey does, because there's no doubt you still need to make some changes to this team. They got to get some shooters on here. We'll see what they do. And that's one thing I am looking forward to. I want to see what the Sixers do. Let's see what they do in the draft. I'm sure Coach is looking forward to see what the Knicks do in the draft.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then look, we'll have about 2 months here, no sports except for football, and then basketball will get revving. Hockey will get going. Look, we're at Halloween. Before you know it, it's January, and then look, it'll be February. Football will be over, Super Bowl will be played, and we'll be in the spring training. And let's just hope we don't have to go through the bullshit of 2020. Because remember, and it just shows you, like they always say, show God your plans and a laugh, or whatever that saying is. Remember 2020? We're all going to see clearly. Well, we saw clearly, and a pandemic came in freaking February that nobody saw. So
that's right, because now anybody that got hired in 2015 because they said, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?"
Yeah,
they obviously, fun culture reminds me of.
Now, is that LAFC? That's a different team than the Galaxy, right? Because Galaxy was that Beckham paid on, correct?
I think so. I don't know. Angela would probably
and Donovan, tell me. Angela, is LAFC different than the Galaxy? I think they are. Because Galaxy's where Donovan was, and then, what's his name? Beckham. Dressed up for tomorrow's show for Halloween? Well, I can't do what I was going to do anymore, because I think it's going to be considered like I'm trying to show somebody up, so that won't happen.
All right. Well, I guess I'll have to take over that then.
Well, then that's your decision, man.
So we'll have to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
what about now? What's he talking about? 18 games, Tommy.
Next year.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Yeah. Next year, and they will push it. Yes, because they got to, But it is what it is.
Angela, LA's got 2 titles, man. They should be happy. The Dodgers finally won. The Lakers got a title. I know you're not a Dodgers fan, but still.
And look. The Chargers or the Rams could be, could win it too. They could get the trifecta.
Not the Chargers. You think the
Chargers are playing well? I mean, they've lost every game, but they are playing.
And the Rams are frauds to me. I mean, I think they're better, but they're frauds. I think they're frauds. And Ange, let me ask you this. What would you prefer, the Raiders in L.A. or in Vegas? I know you want them in Oakland. I get that. But if you could have picked between Vegas and L.A., would you have went with L.A., obviously? Because I don't know if you're I think, obviously, you live in Oakland, but would you have preferred L.A. or Vegas? No way. Yeah, trifecta would be the Raiders winning. I don't know about this year, Angela. I think they're obviously going to make the playoffs, but I think they need to make some L.A. for sure. Okay. I think they need to make some defensive changes, obviously. They got to get some players in there. But Grudem's got them headed in the right direction, at least.
Yep. They do.
They got the boy Mayock, man. Mayock
will get it done, man. Mayock will get it done.
I mean, look at some of the talent he's brought in, and look, I think, Farrell, I know people get on, but he's young. Crosby was a good pickup. Jacobs was good. I think Ruggs, you haven't seen his full potential yet. Waller's a player. I think the biggest question is going to be, is Derek Carr their guy? And I know some people say, well, look, but I think sometimes it just seems like there's ups and downs with Derek Carr, and he's got to fix the turnovers and fumbling and interceptions. We'll see what happens. A lot's going to be able to tell in the next couple of weeks.
Like Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Well, he's not better than Daniel Jones, Coach, but it's going to tell a lot, because I think if the Raiders don't make the playoffs, I think they move on from Derek Carr.
I can see that. Because there's going to be a lot of young guys out on the market. So, all right, guys.
Mike, I was asking her if she could have chose between Los Angeles and Vegas, where the Raiders moved, and she said LA. I wasn't saying if Oakland had another team.
Yeah, but I think he's asking if Oakland got another team.
Yeah, Brian, Coach will tell you, I brought that up a week ago. It's looking possible. And, man, it'll be crazy in Philly if Foles comes to Philly to play Wentz. And trust me.
And beats him.
No, and Wentz will win that game. Coach, I will. Don't even start. You ain't going to beat nothing.
One more time.
All right,
I'm getting off the show, okay?
All right. Yeah, everybody check out Angela's show tonight.
Check out Angela. I'll get you on there. There you go.
And Angela, I think we're hoping to get her on here sometime. So
yeah, Angela will be on here one night. We'll get her here promoting her stuff and getting all that. And I'm still anxious to talk to you because, she's from Oakland. I'm a big fan of Last Chance U, which was in Oakland at the now I can't even think of that college that was there.
Well, and we did the interview, too, with the one guy who was on Last Chance U, right?
Yes. We had the coach on from Last
Those
Chance.
were the ESPN days, though, right?
Those were the ESPN days,
okay,
yeah. So good stuff, everyone. We appreciate it. Oh, Laney. That's right, Laney.
Okay, nice.
So thank you, Angela. So thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Make sure you go over to YouTube, ring the bell, subscribe. If you haven't done so, hit the like on this show. And if you need a podcast, just download Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor, any of those. You can check us out. And we'll be back tomorrow. Got a big show tomorrow. Talk a lot of high school football. Get a little local tomorrow. And Nevada Nick with his picks. And Stiz with some props, probably. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for checking us out. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
All right. Later, Stiz. Later, everybody.